Um, awesome. So if do I have the ability to share my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get right into it. So here we go, guys. Are you guys ready? And I'm gonna just hide my, because I need to see the presentation. I'm just gonna hide you guys. All right. So what if I were to tell you that you can command the attention of your entire community with just a click of a button, a mouse? Would you guys be interested in hearing about that? Well, that is exactly what we're going to cover today. But first, since I am new to the GPS group, I wanted to quickly introduce myself and give you a little bit about me. Hi, guys. I'm Stephanie Gonzalez, and community and marketing are my entire life. I never chose this career, it chose me. From the time that I was 20 years old, I was a youth pastor. I have done internet marketing and lead generation for Toyota. I was a nonprofit leader, community outreach coordinator. Really, this is really where I got my community start in business. So I was hired in Liberty Tax to run to do guerrilla marketing for a small office. Grew that in a year to 2 offices, went into the region, then the state. I got so good at bringing people into the doors that corporate took notice and they hired me to do national training. So for franchisees all over North America, Mexico, Canada. I was flying everywhere, training this incredible marketing strategies, and I had a blast. I also did some events and even some real estate marketing. There is a story behind that picture, but unfortunately, I'm not able to cover that today. And as of recently, and what I'm transitioning out of is sales and marketing coaching. So like I said, marketing has been my entire life. I'm even engaged to one of the top real estate agents that has like the most incredible marketing strategies out there, guys. He's got 60,000 followers on Instagram. His social media content is insane. His name is John McSherry. Shameless plug, but like I said, I am surrounded by a lot of incredible influencers. So in the span of my career, I worked with some of the top coaches and influencers in the nation, and I've had the privilege of learning some of the most successful secrets. And what I'm going to share with you guys is one of them. And when I was trying to figure out a class for the GPS group, I actually had a hard time narrowing it down because I had so much to cover. I was thinking about leveraging social media platforms, effective community outreach that brings people to your doors, hosting community events, learning seminars, guerrilla marketing, leveraging national holidays and appreciation weeks, and a lot more. But that is not what we're going to cover today. So we are not, today, we're going to be learning how to dominate your local market with community Facebook groups. And before we go into that, I have to give credit where credit is due. I actually learned this method, this strategy, by working with a real estate coach named Leslie Bennett. And Leslie is Leslie is an incredible agent, but she actually, the strategy that I'm going to share with you helped her position herself as the go-to agent. She was already great, but this strategy made her known. So she told me that I needed to think outside the box in order to be number one in the market. And Leslie really thought about, she was really about thinking outside the box. So now I'm actually going to share with you how to command the attention of your entire community with just the click of a mouse. And the best part is that it's all without having to pay for leads, without having to knock on doors, without cold calling, without having to sponsor events, or even do open houses. Disclaimer, guys, still do these things. I don't want to get in trouble. They're great resources. So do these things, but the strategy I'm going to share with you is so high level that it helped her not to have to do any of these things. Okay, and all of this is by creating a free Facebook group. So I am going to go into basically just how to create the group itself. We're going to cover some basic strategies, and then I'm actually going to show you what a successful Facebook group looks like, the engagement, what you can do. Like, this is going to be a lot of information, so make sure you're taking down notes. Okay, so first things first is you got to create the group. You're going to create a group on Facebook, and Facebook has a step-by-step process. For the sake of time, we're not going to be covering that today. Next, you're going to create a cover for your group on Canva. You're going to just simply utilize Canva. Canva has a lot of templates that you can use for creating a Facebook group, and you can easily use a template or create your own. The next thing is you're going to make your group go live. So you're going to invite all of your friends and then use some of the engagement tools that I'm going to share with you to grow your group and dominate your market. All right. So creating your Facebook cover and creating the group. So one of the things that you need to think about when creating your Facebook group is the name of it. What are you going to name it? And you want to name it something that resonates with your city and your local area that you're going to be focused on. This is the one that I created for Leslie in Totally Thomasville. She wanted some of the aspects of the city to be in the cover, what we are known for, Rose City, Victorian Christmas, and also the rose. So make it like super catchy. I personally think that that's great. However, to simplify things, I want to keep it where I can make the name a logo. So I can make it brandable, like put it on a mug, baseball cap, so Tiffany can wear, or essentially anything. So that can be used as a logo. And when you're thinking about naming your Facebook group, make it where it very community based. When people think of it, that hey, so Long Island is known for their lighthouses. Couldn't think of a G word with Gainesville, so I just if you guys want to give me some in the chat, great. I'm still open to some ideas, but we're known for our trees, our pine trees, our hiking, the mountains. Living in Lakeland, I'm actually working with someone to help them brand Lakeland, and they're known, of course, for their beaches. So when you are creating this, it is so important that you make it catchy, resonates with your local area, and you make it brandable. That's like step number one when it comes to creating your Facebook group. Now that you have your Facebook group, how do you grow it? So because this strategy is a great method of building brand authority, it's going to take time and effort. You're going to want to post about your community. You want to not just make it about yourself and your listings. Yes, you'll get to post all of that, but you want to keep it focused on your community. You want to collaborate with business owners. And the thing about it is consistency and intention are key. So here are some effective group growth strategies. You can do giveaways for followers. I'll go into that in a minute, but that is one of the biggest things that helped us grow the group to the way it was, to the way it is right now. We only had like maybe 50 to 100 followers. And that was just some of, some of Leslie's friends, because let's face it, guys, everyone is creating groups and everyone is constantly adding you to groups. So you need to make it engaging. It's not just enough to create it, but you have to give people something, a reason to stay in your group. So we created like the 12 days of Christmas, and we collaborated with businesses that, gave something away. And in order for them to join to get to be part of the giveaway, they had to go into the group, like the group, comment and share, and that created a lot of growth. Irresistible offers, something that your group can host that it's only limited to your group, like hosting an event there and broadcasting it, or doing a special training and seminar. Lead magnets to groups. Lead magnets are, you can use anything like buyer's guides, city guides. Like I know that we use some of the top restaurant guides to get people into the group. Also, that, anything with home repair, list area business directory, we use that as an opt-in for the group. Also posting community and focused content. Your churches always have something that events, schools. Who doesn't want to promote your children's schools? I mean, I'm having to raise money for my daughter's cheerleading squad, and I'm looking for people, I'm looking for places to promote that fundraiser. Nonprofit organizations are great. Nonprofits always have something going on, and this makes your content super community focused. Other things like small business focused content, business highlights, like if a business just opened up, you want to highlight that business, or if they did something like customer appreciation days. Businesses are more than happy to collaborate with you, especially when you're promoting their business. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go into what a successful Facebook group looks like. Okay. All right. So I'm actually going to take you inside of the group that Leslie created called Totally Thomasville. So here is the group. And as you can see, this is the banner. Facebook actually switched it up to where it used to be here, but now it's here. I don't like it, but it is the way it is. As you can see, guys, it has 16,000 members, 16,000 members. And I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but it is a very engaging group. Like the amount of engagement, it is insane. 18 comments, 16 shares. You can share anything about it's very personal. I don't know who Larry is, but apparently the community wants to know if he's moved. You can also promote your business. People are constantly commenting, people are constantly sharing, and it's so engaging. Guys, that this group was created by Leslie, and the city of Thomasville, I just want to show you guys real quick, only has 8,000 people, 8,000 people. But this group right here has 16,000, and the city of Thomasville doesn't get the engagement that Leslie does. Only 14 likes, a few likes here and there, but nothing compared to the engagement. Leslie is the unofficial mayor of the city of Thomasville. So let me show you what having a group that big with so much engagement can give you leverage for. So here are some of the things that you can post all of your listings. And because Leslie dominates this group, and it's her group, all of her listings go here. No other agent can post. She can control the content. She can post anything she even uses it for leverage for her business, asking for mover references. So she can actually give, yes, Liz.
Does she have, does she allow other agents to be a part of the group and they just can't post?
Yes, she allows them to be a part of the group, but none of their listings, none of the listings actually get shown. Maybe here or there, unless she's co-listing with them, I don't know, but it's usually her content. And she's always shouting out, the local businesses, the bowling alley, and they get so much content and engagement. As you can see, she can post about giveaways, how she can help anyone promote their business with the use of social media or video. She wants to help them. Liz, did you raise your hand again? Okay, so this is her page. She has the ability, and she uses it can you guys imagine if you had the ability to share all your content? Everything's community-based, giveaways. all of your fun listing presentations. She gets so much shares, so much engagements. And I know she has other like businesses, like she also has Airbnbs. So she always posts like those Airbnbs here and they get a ton of engagement. She does a lot of things for the community as well. So whenever we were on lockdown, she did like a lot of signs that and people put these signs in their doors. And so everyone knows Leslie Bennett. And this group has allowed her to have a platform to put everything that she wants with just the click of a mouse. She commands the attention of her entire community. How amazing is that? Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to kind of show you some about the growth of the group is like the giveaways. So in order to grow the group from like a couple hundred people to the way it is now at 16,000 followers, we did a lot of giveaways. So we did the 12 days of Christmas was really fun. And she partners up with a lot of businesses and merchants. As you can see, she does videos for the community and it is super fun and engaging. So that's one of the things that helped us grow the group to the size that it is. Promoting local businesses. They do a lot of video, a lot of engagement, and people comment and share because they want to win the local prizes. Great. So the other thing that you can see, the other thing that you can actually use this page for is also, getting leads. Like people are looking for Airbnbs, people are looking for other rentals. Like I know there's somebody in the group that has like a compactor removal thing, so junk removal thing. So they even use that for promotion. So you can, if you have that, you can promote your business as well too. So people who are looking for rentals and house rentals, they get a lot of suggestions. So for example, let's say you have buyers or sellers that are, they're having to sell their house and they're looking for rentals. Now you have a list of people and you didn't even have to pay for these leads. You know who needs a house, and maybe you can convert them into buyers. So it's really, really cool. The other thing that I wanted to share is like, you get to find out who's new here and who might be a potential future client. So there's a lot of people that post, hey, I'm new here. I'm looking for recommendations, or I'm new to the group. I'll be moving to Thomasville in a few weeks. These are potential, future clients. Yes, George.
Sorry, I was on mute. So you just hit on something that's really huge. And I'm assuming that with new here and having a vendor list is mission critical, of course, because you're basically using the community as your vendor list. Mm-hmm. But wouldn't it make sense, and I'm sure you do this, that if you're showcasing a vendor, say, listen, I want you to share this with all of your friends and invite them to the page so we can get you more exposure. But doesn't that also build your page very quickly through leveraging other people's friends?
Absolutely. And George, you're always talking about being the expert in your area, but I also believe in leveraging other experts, because when you do that, you help grow your page and you also help them grow as well. And they want to collaborate with you. So that is a great point. And yes, we do that here. So that's a great point. So yeah, by the way, guys, I did this is actually me doing a real estate video. That's me in the bear suit. I'm not going to show you that, guys, but that's some of the fun things that I got to do with Leslie. That was working with her was honestly the most fun I've ever had. So you guys can leverage like rentals markets, find out who is in the market for buying a home, who's thinking about selling. And because this group has it's so community based, then people, when they think of real estate, they think of Leslie. They think of I've seen so many comments, and I wish I would have screenshotted them, that where people are like, I am, moving to the area. I'm looking for an agent, and I see all of the things that you're doing. I don't have I'm not in the market yet, but when I am, I'm going to go to you. And that's the way that she does it. And everything is so community-based, intentional. This group is used for everything, guys, for everything. Like I had a friend who actually had who found a sloth on the side of the road, and they're like, posted in Thomasville, totally Thomasville, because she was trying to find the owner. And then she posted it in the Thomasville page, and she got 20 comments, 53 shares, all just to find the owner of a sloth. So keep it super community based. And with that, that's all that I want to like share with you guys right now. I wanted to show you the power of, having a Facebook group. You have to make it super intentional. You have to, be engaging. Of course, you also have to set up the rules. And I mean, I don't have a lot of time to go into that because I want to be able to answer questions. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end it and leave the floor open for questions.
I have a couple comments because I wrote some stuff down that I thought was pretty cool. Stephan, when doing this, if you're, and this is just something that we've talked about with YouTube, if you've got a page like this and you're setting it up and you're becoming really the mayor of the area, I'm assuming that, I mean, for lack of a better title, you really do separate yourself because you're prevalent throughout all of it, but it's about other people and you pick up the beauty of that. But when you're doing live things like interviewing a new business owner, why wouldn't that, because you've got the raw video, which you can put up into Facebook and Facebook will recognize it as authentic and new. You can also take that raw video and put it into a YouTube channel that mirrors what you're doing on Facebook, and your content is already built. So
Absolutely.
You get to do this two different ways.
Absolutely. Actually, all that content that I just showed you, like I guess I was focused on the group, but that content that she uses is actually on YouTube and Instagram and Pinterest and all of the social media platforms, because it's already content. And, and of course, with having that YouTube content, it helps with SEO. Like whenever people are looking for, if you go to YouTube and you go and you search Thomasville, it's Leslie's videos that show up, because she is the community guide. She does interview the businesses, she highlights them, and all of those videos are on YouTube, which helps the SEO. So when there's people are searching for Thomasville real estate agents, they find her because of the way that she uses the content, and she leverages all of the platforms, repurposes the content.
That's the right word. It's rephrase, because you have it. Exactly. Why not use it on your other platforms? And I keep forgetting Pinterest and Instagram because I'm 56. I don't know how to do that stuff yet. But why the heck not? It's already there, and it's such great content because it's real, it's authentic, it's somebody else's business. It's in that neighborhood or in that community. Now, I don't want to call out Christy, Paul, because that would be rude. But Christy, since you're in a new area, I'd probably suggest that this might be exactly what you're thinking of and listening to. So way to go. I've got a bunch more stuff, but I want to open it up to everybody else. There was one question. I want to get this one because it was brought up by a gentleman whose name I can't say when we're being recorded. Does she moderate the postings, and how many admins are there? As a general rule, what would we expect?
Yeah, at the beginning, I was the admin of it, but because it has grown so much, there are several admins that she has. I think she has a full-time one, and I think it's because it's my friend Maura, and that's all that she does, is just moderates the community. So with someone full-time, and it's benefit, you're probably thinking, well, I don't want to hire someone full-time to moderate the group. When you're getting so much engagement, and even one person can turn into like a potential seller or buyer lead, it's worth it. It's worth its weight in gold. And of course, you can get VAs to do this. So however many, I would say, have just one full-time moderator, and then set the ground rules for your group. You guys are more than welcome to look up Totally Thomasville. I can actually put the Facebook group in the chat and look into how she actually moderates the group. In fact, she actually even has a video on how to use the group. It's insane, like how to search for handyman. And I didn't even go into that, but she has a video on how to actually use the group. This group is intentional.
There's another one that was brought up, Stephan. It's worth bringing up because this is it's Ruth that brought it up. Ruth, thanks so much for throwing this in there. And y'all feel free, raise your hand, because that way you're having a one-on-one conversation with Stephan, and I don't have to moderate it. which I don't mind doing at all. But she says, and this is right out of her, she goes, I'm in a small community that's got a really big broker. And honestly, how do I get started on this one? And I guess what the big question on that is, and I'll leave it to you, Steph, is how do you set up a YouTube page? I know it's pretty simple. You just go in and create a new page, right?
Right. Yeah. Basically, YouTube really guides you through it. You just go on YouTube, create a page and create a business page or just a regular page. And they have a step-by-step walkthrough that will walk you through it.
And I think you meant on Facebook, you can do that, by the way, but your answer was correct. If you have a question on this one, Ruth, what I would do is go to YouTube and type in, how do I create a Facebook page? Now, we have one that's just to give you guys an idea, we have one that's the best of Dr. Phillips. That's the area that I live in. And we haven't done anything with that page. And every couple of weeks, we'll get somebody new that likes the page and joins it because of the name. And that's without pushing or doing anything to it. Making the page is easy. And don't feel you have to fill it up right now. This is time on task over time. It's not something that's going to happen right away, but it's on your schedule more likely than not. It's going to happen every week, at least 2 or 3 entries, and you're going to have to be engaged in the page and invite people to it. There's a lot on there, and I'm pretty sure Steph will be back to answer more questions because this was awesome. So carry on, guys. Anything else? Questions? You got it right here. Ask away. This is good stuff.
I have one.
Yes, ma'am.
Because mine is still applicable. Steph, do you feel, because I have a unique area. My market is actually 7 cities really close together. Do you feel it would be advantageous for me to make it like the collective, which is a lot, or try to narrow one at a time and add to it as it grows?
That's a great question because I'm actually having to deal with this in New York since that's the market I'm going to be focused on. And so I'm really going to be focused on, an area and then but still own a collective page. So I'm going to own all of the little ones, like, so Long Island has so many boroughs and, like Rockville, it has like Cedarhurst, Lynbrook. I don't know these cities yet, so bear with me. And so I'm going to do a page for each of those because they're big, they're compact, and it's kind of like the Florida area. And then I'm going to have a collective one. So that's what I'm going to be working on. So I think that starting out very focused, and this is something that I actually trained in my marketing coaching is being laser focused on a niche in a smaller area is actually a cheat code for exponential growth. That's how you grow it better.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Stephanie, there's quite a few questions you can probably address very quickly that are in the chat box. I'm going to leave that to you if you will, so I'm not calling them out. I don't want to miss anything.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just go into the chat box, guys. And I did have that step-by-step on how to create the Facebook group, but it was taking it took me a little while to get through. So I just kind of cut that off. But let's see. Okay. Can you go into more of the logistics on how to grow the group? I think I did cover that so the whole presentation here, it was really to show you guys the advantage of having a Facebook group, an engaging one, an effective one, and what it could do for you. I would have to, in order to go into some of the logistics and growth strategies, it would probably have to be another training because that's a lot of information. And like the 12 days of Christmas giveaway, that's like a whole training then on how to acquire the businesses, how to approach them, how to engage people, the comment, like, and share. It's a whole thing. So we might save that for another lesson.
Who would like to have her teach that class? Okay, there we go. I guess that lesson's going to happen. Stephanie, Tiffany, get that straightened out, please. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So Christy, how do you keep other agents from posting properties on the page? Moderation, because it's a real estate page, I think Leslie has allowed some, just so you kind of keep like community, like, since she's already the leading, she's a leading agent in that community. Nobody really compares to her. Sometimes she lets them like kind of just post, and it doesn't bother her. So, but at the beginning, you can just say, hey, I just private message someone, say, hey, this is my page, and I mean, I'm really focused on this, and eventually you can post. It's really up to you. You can allow it if you want to, or you don't have to. Really, it's up to you. So to answer that question. So Ruth, I'm in a small business community who has big brokers and I'm competing with. I'm a new agent and don't have any listings yet. I'm very interested in this idea. How do I start it? That's a great question, Ruth, because Leslie was competing with other bigger brokerages. She is actually a small brokerage, and she only had 2 agents. But that didn't stop her. She was like, what do I got to do? And so she actually used the strategy, and she invested in a lot. She invested in a lot of time, a lot of coaches, and she was willing to do the things that other companies weren't doing. So that's what set her apart. It doesn't matter if there's bigger brokerages out there. They don't have the strategies that I'm sharing with you. None of them are doing it. You do it, and you are going to set yourself apart. That's how. Jen, my concern is the amount of time and effort to manage something like this, and that is a full-time job in itself. Jen, you are absolutely right. It is a lot of work, but if you saw the engagement, it's worth it. So if it's not going to be for everyone. Guys, this is for someone who is willing to put in the work, and it is work. It is engagement. So if you're not willing to do that, then it is not for you. And that's fine, because it's very limited to a certain amount, to one person. Only one person can really be the mayor of their local area. So if you don't want to put in the work, then that's okay. But if you're willing to do it, hire someone to help you. Like Leslie hired me to run the community, to create it. And, but you saw the results of what it could have. So it will be a lot of work, but this is why you're in this industry for, to work really hard.
Stephanie, I got to jump in on this one because it's so important to bring it up. It is a full-time job, as is real estate. Now, you can prospect and get your business that way by cold calling people. You can door knock. You can do open houses every weekend, 20 or 30 weekends a month or year, excuse me. Or you can do this. If this is something you're engaged in, if you enjoy the idea of creating community, if you enjoy the idea of interviewing businesses to help them grow their business, you just happen to own the media in which they're doing so. It is going to take time on task over time. No way around it, as is everything. If you want a quick fix, this is not directed to Jen on this one. I think that was who said it. It takes a long time. Sorry, Jen, not directed to you, but to everybody. If you want a quick fix, spend thousands of dollars with Zillow and you'll be out of business as soon as they change their position. And that's going to happen. This is a long-term strategy to create community. And here's the really cool part. At some point, probably around 5 to 6 months into this, you start having, depending on your growth, and you may grow it faster, but especially coupling it with the other social medias like YouTube and Instagram and Pinterest, as we recommended, you're going to find that your business, you become more well-known. Now, in that page that we just looked at, I saw a lot of real estate, but I didn't see any real showcasing. You know what I mean? Where it's, oh, look at me, I'm a great agent. But that's the person I trust, because through repetition comes trust. And you're the one that's in front of everybody all the time. And remember, the more people you interview, the more businesses you interview, the more people that are going, oh my God, I love this person. This is who I would use. The more referrals you get. You start working with people who already know you and are in relationship with you, whether you've met them or not. Is that a fair assessment, Steph?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Wonderful business model.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So Holly, how many members or posts per week a day do you think it's where you think it's time to get a paid admin? I would go ahead and get a paid admin from the get-go. Honestly, just your time is so important. You could be spending it like, you have to really value your time. So go ahead and get an admin. It's like, you can get one for $7 an hour. and use this admin to actually grow your group, like invite people, create engagement posts. And so they don't have to moderate, they can also post and engage and add value and share all of the content that you had in the past, reposting it, repurposing it. So I would go ahead and hire someone from the get-go. It's worth it. It's worth it. Brian, would you suggest doing one on Scott? You don't live in? There's another agent and the competing brokerage in my city doing the exact in a city I don't live in. Okay. Would you suggest doing it in a city that you don't live in? I'm going to do it in a city that I don't live in, actually. My unique situation is I live in Georgia. I'm not licensed in Georgia. I'm licensed in New York. I'm moving to New York, and I'm actually going to be competing in a New York market. But I'm confident because I have these growth strategies that none of the other agents are doing it. So here's another thing. If another agent is doing this successfully, because I have shared this in the past, I've shared this training in your area, you can either do one or two things, find your own unique way of positioning it, or also like maybe collaborate with them. If they're willing to collaborate with you, then awesome. If not, use the strategies to make your group better, to make your community better, like promote it like crazy. I guarantee you that if you put in the effort, then you are going to be the top agent that is doing the strategy. So you just got to put in the work. How many people can you invite a day without looking like spam from Facebook? Karen, that is a great question, Karen, because you will be blocked if you invite, so at the very beginning, when you create your group, Facebook will give you the ability to invite everyone. And then after that, it gets spammy. So that's why the engagement groups, the great engagement strategies are really important. So creating giveaways, posting community content in the group. That's why that's important, because that's what's going to bring you the followers. Because if you're not going to want to add anyone that doesn't want to be in the group, let them come to you organically. That's why there's so much engagement, because the people that are coming into the group are organic. They're actually choosing, they're searching for the group. And that's the type of, people that you want in it, people who are engaged. Thank you, Ms. Sotis. I love this. I'm going to do this now. I love this idea. How to get over the cheesy feeling of being on video and interviewing. Do people feel comfortable with that right away, or super awkward? Yeah, that's a great question, Holly. So one of the reasons that I worked with Leslie is because I personally don't like being on video. I don't. That's why if the only video that I was really in, I was in a bear costume. So you just kind of have to do it and let other people, if you're not the face, then let them do the talking. They're going to talk about their business. They're going to talk about the information. All you have to say, I'm here with John and he's going to share with me the promotions that he's doing this week, and let the person that you're talking with do all of the talking. Your community will speak for itself, and you'll get more comfortable on the camera as you continue doing it, and you'll actually start enjoying it and making it fun. Okay, so that's my so thank you, George, for sharing my Facebook page. Guys, just so you know, I am transitioning, so you're probably not going to see a lot of real estate content. I'm like the person that is always behind the in the backstage, the crowds. That's kind of how I'm built. So I had built, I was telling Tiffany the other day, I have built businesses, multi-million dollars to businesses for other people, but I've never done anything for myself. So you're probably not going to find a lot, but I'm working on that. So yeah, I appreciate that. How much would you pay for that social media VA per hour? So hiring someone from the Philippines, I don't know, like $4, $5, $6 an hour. I really don't have a lot of experiences with hiring VAs, but I
do. I can address that. So there's a lot of VA services out there. It can go anywhere from $6 or $7 an hour to $10 an hour. It is tax free. You don't pay taxes on it, payroll taxes. You will not find somebody as skilled as Joe. Joe, I love you. You're the man. God bless you, brother. God bless you. You're awesome. But they're out there and they're phenomenal. to have that additional support. The Philippines and the United States have a lot of the same communication styles and cultures, and to have somebody, it's simply a matter of good communication. There's nothing Joe can't do at an extremely high level. And Joe, I think it's fair to say it really comes down to your communication. But truthfully, for $10 an hour, that's $80 a day if you decide to go full time on there, or you could do it part time. You know, I mean, you really can. A lot of times you can hire for 4 hours on a daily basis, but it totally worth it for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, George.
Absolutely.
And where can you guys find me on Instagram? Steph Gonzalez Official is my Instagram handle. I'll put it in the chat. Any other questions, guys?
Can I share something real quick?
Yes.
I want to suggest that everybody consider doing just like this. This just popped up on Facebook page, and it's coming. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share this real quick, and I'm going to share it into a group, which is, as soon as I find it, here we go. Just like that. And the reason I say that is Steph is tagged in there. If you're friends with her, you can tag her. If not, put her name in there. That's cool because it gives her props, and that's tremendously powerful everywhere. But why not put that out there? Because that's what we're involved with, and that's what we do. GPS is growth, partnership, and synergy. It's agents helping agents. I don't give a darn what broker you're with. What I care about is your real estate career, as I hope everybody on the page or on this does as well. Wow, Stephanie, this is just phenomenal. I had something to add to this. For those of us who are uncomfortable on camera, and I promise you, I was highly uncomfortable on camera until I was forced to do this for 2 years. And now I'm fairly comfortable in front of a camera, as was Tiffany for sure. She was a wallflower. Here's the thing, blunders are awesome. Making a mistake is authentic, and it makes you a real person. It's not, hi, I'm here to report the news. I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. So if you screw it up, own it. It doesn't matter. How many times, who here has heard me, show of hands, who here heard me curse when I wasn't supposed to curse? Okay. Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it's just offensive. I made a commitment not to curse anymore. But I want you to just be comfortable with the fact that you're not going to be great and you're your worst critic. Everybody else already loves you, or they wouldn't watch. Okay. Remember that. It's important.
I just wanted to piggyback off of what George just said. I get the most engagement on my social media, which is Facebook, Instagram, and everything like that, when I make mistakes talking. People love to see that. Like, they're just like, oh my God, that was so funny. And I'll get all these comments and DMs. People love to see authenticity. So it's okay if you make mistakes, guys. You do not have to be a perfectionist. Nobody wants perfect.
Yeah. Just laugh at yourself and have fun with it, because others are laughing with you, not at you. You're the only one that's going to laugh at yourself.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm always laughing at myself. I think somebody raised their hand, or no?
That was Liz. We got her.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Good to go. All right, guys. Well, any other questions? If you want to reach out to me and like have questions, you can. What would be the best way for them to reach out?
Workplace chat would be the easiest way at which to do so. We're all kind of connected through there. It's an easy way to directly message her. It is something that she can keep her eye on without having to like respond instantly, and it doesn't blow up our phones like text messaging does, but it does show up and register. I would suggest that so she can manage it, because we've got almost 100 people that are on this call, which is awesome, Steph. Thank you so much for the content. Hugely valuable.
I really appreciate it. And yeah, we could really go into, so guys, if you have questions specific right now about the Facebook group, I could actually take you in right now, and you can and we can go over that real quick. But if you guys are good to go, and you want me to cover it in another training, maybe we can go into that. This is not the only thing that I can talk about. Like, I used to do guerrilla marketing, which I used to wear a crown everywhere. I think that's one of the things that helped me with my stage fright, and go into businesses leveraging national holidays. There was one time, I will tell you, I did like national, I'm really goofy and silly. I did National Pass Gas Day, and I celebrated, and I got so much engagement on that. And I went to Walmart and I filled up a bunch of helium balloons, and I went into like a bunch of businesses, and I was just like, hi, happy National Pass Gas Day. And I wanted to just come in and pass some gas. And they would look at me like, freaked out. And then I hand them a helium balloon and they would bust out laughing. And I got so much engagement that it was covered in the news. So many people flocked into our offices, and it was really, really cool. But I use that for PR, getting in the news radio and news radio, like the local networks, TV networks love celebrating those national holidays. So I could do a training on that too. But all of these things that you can actually promote inside of your Facebook group, which you can repurpose for all your content. And because it's community-based, people share, people engage, and they love it.
I want to throw this, I put a link in there for National Weird Holidays, just so everybody knows today is National Paranormal Day. It is also National Two Different Colored Shoes Day. And the day I'm most excited about is actually on the 6th, which is National No Pants Day.
Wow.
Okay, just throwing that out there. Now, all of you that are a little bit twisted, that means you wear shorts, not nothing at all. Shame on you. Or a skirt, which you can do too. I don't care. Anyway, the link's right there if you want it. It's fun.
Yep, there you go.
George in a skirt. Okay, no, Elizabeth, not going to happen. Sorry, not as good. A kilt, maybe. So I may have I do actually have a skirt in my golf bag, which is, it's a red skirt. It's a wraparound. I think that's right. Not a skirt, but it's a skirt. And I wrap it around my shorts and I walk my sweet little butt right up to the ladies' tee and I hit from there. And that's how I get my advantage. That's just a little known fact about me. I will pull a skirt out to win a golf match.
That's
All right. Well, listen, we're going to switch over to an after party in just a couple minutes. That does not mean that, well, Steph, thank you first. Thank you so much for, God, incredible stuff. And God, if this doesn't motivate you all, what will? Tell me what will, because we'll bring it. I swear to God we will. But if this doesn't get you going, wouldn't it be cool if I interviewed John, who owns a septic business right down the street? You know what? John would love that. He'd share it with all his friends. And now you got this growth.
Yeah.
What if you, sorry, Steph, I didn't mean to step on you on that.
No, that's actually really great. I really encourage you guys to go into the Facebook group, the Totally Thomasville Facebook group, and just check it out. It is just the things, and search for septic people, handymans, and you see all of the engagement, then people recommendations. Anybody I'm looking for, I am needing a roofer, and imagine building a network of roofers, electricians, people that will working with the septic tanks, and can just you can have it at your fingertips, and they're all flocking to you. They want to do business with you. That is the effects that that we got. So many people wanted to collaborate with Leslie. They're like, Leslie, can we promote this in your group? Leslie, will you share this? Leslie, can you put it on Totally Thomasville? The community, if the community goes to Totally Thomasville if they want to know anything about the community. You guys even saw that post where did Fred move to? I don't know who he is, but the community wants to know. Yeah. So
here's a little known secret, and you can validate this too, Steph, as well. If you've got somebody who's on that page who's let's say a painter, the job they do for the community members is going to be so extraordinary, because the last thing they want is a negative publicity, and you don't even have to govern it. It's if they're there and they're willing to make that commitment. Something is, this is a painter, a local painter, and their personal commitment to extraordinary is going to win out, or they're going to be off the page anyway. So you're only going to have the top of the top on the page because they're interested in providing great service, because they're going to get reviewed, period. It's a wonderful self-fulfilling support mechanism for your real estate business.
Absolutely. And also, I forgot to mention one thing, and I think this is big. For those of you guys who already live in areas that have great community groups, you can actually reach out to them to see if you can acquire them and buy it from under them. And then, if they're already engaged and they're already getting a lot of, posts and communities and comments, you can actually acquire a group. And, because I know that Leslie has been propositioned to buy the Totally Thomasville group. She's not letting that go, but like you can still reach out to other people. And some of them are like moms who just built out the group because they love the community and they like engagement. And when you say, hey, I'm going to give you like this amount of money for it, they're like, take it. Like they're so excited. Like, it's called group acquisitions. I learned this from, something in the current business that I'm working with. So, reach out to them and say, hey, I either want to collaborate with you or I want to buy your group and I want to take it to this level. Yeah. And that way you don't have to build from scratch.
I just saw something that based on that, I just started looking for, because I have Dr. Phillips, the best of Dr. Phillips, and I'm looking through this. And I will tell you that most of it is type. And there is here's my moving to Dr. Phillips in 1 month from Indiana was the first thing to do, wrong answers only kind of thing. It's not as robust as the one we just saw with Thomasville. And Thomasville was robust because there was images and it wasn't just type, and it was moderated better, I believe. And I think that's the secret. Because I look at this one, it's got 5,000 members. It's called Dr. Phillips Local, and it's boring. So the mission is, and the cover page, well, this is it. Take a look. This is what boring looks like. We can beat this with our eyes closed. That's their beginning. That's the cover. Now, it's not moved over in the side like we talked about, Steph. But I mean, okay, there's one from Tommy Bahama. I would have kicked him off. That's a plug to Christy, who was saying, do we get him out of there? You see what I mean? There's a fair amount of engagement, but it's not really huge. The simple process of this in my world would be, why not interview a local restaurant and say, we want to showcase your restaurants. One of my favorite Italian restaurants. Deep actually did that to my favorite Italian restaurant right here. He knows the owner, Achilles, who's amazing. Why not showcase them for them? And then they're going to share it out as well. And you can make this an incredibly robust and really, really engaging post. They have 5,000 people and they haven't done a damn thing. This is boring. Imagine with a little bit of effort.
Yeah.
Imagine the engagement.
Engagement, giveaways, irresistible offers, lead magnets. I could possibly do a whole training on just like, growth tools for groups. So we can do that as well. Yeah. And we'll go into that. I think that I already set myself up for that training.
Very good.
Yeah. So, in the about page too, George, I saw that I don't think you had anything in the about page. Let me show you the about page for Totally Thomasville.
Okay.
It's so good. Hold on, share my screen again. Okay, so as you can see, Totally Thomasville is your Facebook destination for Thomasville residents. It says everything positive about Thomasville, Georgia. Our goal is to build a positive community and help each other discuss new businesses, events, what's new in Thomasville, and to reminisce the old Thomasville. Need a recommendation for a local contractor? Want to highlight a restaurant, retail shop, and other local businesses? Maybe you like to ask a question about things going on in Thomasville. This group is all about community, and the forum is to ask those questions and share your knowledge. And of course, she throws in, I'm a licensed real estate agent, and I'm happy to give you advice and more questions about buying, selling, or renting your home. Please review group rules, and guys, rules are important. And no name calling and all that good stuff. Welcome all and happy posting. That's the kind of welcome that you want to get.
Well, and the image that was up there, the Totally Thomasville, was different parts of the community. And what that does is it creates a relationship. I'm already in relationship with the church there. I know the church. I don't, but the illusion will be, I know the church. So that image captures my attention. I love the fact that it was a collage. And that's probably a really good way at which to consider starting. You may start with one and then add two, then add some more that signify what the community is, because people have instantaneous. That's why we use our face on business cards, by the way, because people recognize our face. It's the number one most recognizable thing. Another is a geographic location. I could show you a picture of the house you grew up in. The landscape is completely different. You're like, that's my house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so remember that. Yeah, Elizabeth, you had something? You had your hand up?
Yeah, so I actually wanted to ask a question. So right now I have on my Facebook, I have a Ravens fans page for my selected top 50 people that absolutely love and champion me and things like that. Would you recommend that I started a new page to engage in the community, or should I transition that one because I already have people who love, trust, and boast about me, and transition it to make it a community page? Does that make sense? Is that weird?
So no, I think I get what you're saying. So you have one that is like all the people that are focused on you that you love, but that's
Yep.
you. That's all about you. It's
Got it. Okay.
the community. It's about the community and who they consider like the top, who they want to boast about. And you
Okay.
gotta let the community, because when you start making it about yourself, nobody's gonna want to be a part of that.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a little different though. So like with that is like my top 50 where I'll do specific giveaways for them. Any questions that they have. So mine is a little different just because I have people in Florida, but then I also have people in like back home in Philly. So if I know a local plumber or things like that, I can put it on there. Someone's asking about it in Philly, but I just feel like it's just so far away that maybe it will just be best to start a new page just to get like super hyper focused on on the area that I'm in now.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to be
Okay.
hyper focused. Hyper focused is what's going to create a lot of growth. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, George. I appreciate you. Yes, you can use Canva for your logos. How much time do you need to spend on social media each week, each month? Are you picking one medium or going in on all of them? Do you time block for video content? So yeah, Holly, all great questions. How much do you spend on social media each month? This is why you have to have someone, it's a significant amount of time to be at that level that Leslie is. I know we had marketing days, and we actually would block out an entire day for just content. The rest of the week, it was all transactional, and then basically taking care of clients and signings and closings. But it was one focused day. It was all, intentional for media, social media. And when you have one piece of content, you can repurpose it for all of the platforms. Okay. All right, guys. I think, and I'm already going into the after party time. So
you're good. You're good. Thank you so much for pouring in and answering all of these questions. We knew there would be a lot of questions. So thank you so much. I guess we'll go ahead and we can stop the recording now.